There's a lot going on in 2019 for movies, TV shows, and video games. We talk about it all in full detail. Spoiler alert is in effect in You Heard with Nerds 2019 in review.
Hey guys, welcome into You Heard with Nerds. I'm Brett.
I'm Dorian.
And we're talking about our 2019 in review. So we're going to be talking about movies, video games, and TV shows.
Yep.
Things we're interested in, things we thought kind of impacted this last year and potentially future years to come. And so we just want to do another shout out. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Again, you can go onto our Patreon, which is patreon.com/withnerds. And support us there. And we have 3 different tiers, and it gives you, access to early episodes, Q&As with us, all different kinds of cool stuff. So go ahead and check us out there. You can also check us out on our social medias, our Twitter and our Facebook page, or YouTube. We love the support. We love you guys. So thanks for listening. But let's jump right into it. We're going to start with movies.
Yep. So just want to just make this point clear. So we're only covering stuff that we personally have watched or played or, essentially consumed this year. So if there's say some movie, TV, or
don't get too hurt. It's our opinions.
Yes, it's our opinions, and
we're not the end all on this.
I mean, we either were just not interested in certain things, or we just didn't have the time to get to it.
Yeah, I got married this year, so a lot of time changed into time with my wife, which I don't regret at all, but it is a real thing for those of you who are not married. You start to do more things with your spouse, and entertainment kind of goes by the wayside. Not in a holistic sense, but we love movies. That's our biggest thing. That did not take a hit at all, but like TV shows, we don't necessarily have time for as much, or games, but I still do, and I touch on stuff.
Sure.
And so we're going to talk about that. But movies, let's just start out with one we both were kind of about. It's Captain Marvel.
Yeah, so Captain Marvel. So here's the thing.
You have more to say about this than I do.
I do, yeah. So I don't know too much about Captain Marvel. I'm not really a Captain Marvel acolyte, if you want to call it that, but I feel like this is the weakest MCU movie that's out there, in all honesty.
How dare you?
It is what it is.
I know. I feel like I say that a lot, but so I don't think it's I don't know. It would be hard for me to honestly pull out my weakest.
I mean, I would imagine maybe like Thor, the Dark World.
Yeah, I think Dark World, honestly, for me was the weakest.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the go-to one. I feel like a lot of people pull, which I mean,
or Iron Man 2, to be honest.
Iron Man 2, yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
I thought the movie was entertaining, but I'm really not a fan of Brie Larson in this role.
Yeah, well, I think that's like one of the main reasons why I just did not like this movie, was just because I feel like her acting comes off like really stiff in some places, or very nonchalant here, and it's like.
And I've seen her in other things, and she's not like that. So I don't know if it's just the writing of the character or how she's interpreting the character.
Right.
But yeah, she's stiff. She is ex-military, and she's a test pilot and stuff like that. So
sure.
Maybe that's kind of just part of her character. But I've seen her in other stuff where she's like very lively and happy.
Yeah, exactly.
And funny, and she doesn't have any of that in this.
No, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. She was in that. Yeah, 21 Jump Street. So yeah, no, it's honestly just kind of a weird decision choice. And I mean, I think I'm not entirely sure exactly what happened with this movie, but I think it's just I think another reason why I probably don't like it is this is like literally one of those movies that was sandwiched between Infinity War and Endgame, and it's like
it's a tough thing to be in the middle of.
Well, yeah, because it's like and it's honestly this movie really did not need to be sandwiched in between there. It could have like completely existed on its own. Before the events of Infinity War, and then you could have just gone straight into Endgame. But, I digress.
Yep.
So, next movie, which I think it's absolutely hilarious that we both got a Captain Marvel movie and a
Captain Marvel movie.
Captain Marvel movie, a.k.a. Shazam, in the same year.
Because Shazam is actually called Captain Marvel
originally,
years ago, and they've only recently turned him into Shazam. And so Yeah, I thought it was funny too.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this one here?
So I think this is a really good movie by DC.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I think the concept is incredibly like it's kind of silly, and I know this boy becomes this he's a man-child essentially.
Yeah.
The superhero man-child, which I thought was a really fun concept, and they did a really good job with this.
Oh yeah.
And I'm so happy they did, because I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I wasn't the first time I watched Aquaman,
Yeah.
but I became a fan the second time I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's the best DCEU movie.
Really?
I think Aquaman is.
Really?
No. I'm just kidding. I think that honestly, like, I don't know how to rank the new DCEU. And again, when we say DCEU, we're not talking about Christopher Nolan's Batman.
No, and we're also not talking about Joker, because as far as we know, that movie is not part of the DCEU.
Yeah, and then DCEU stands for DC Extended Universe.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I thought this could be one of the bangers of the DCEU, meaning that it is a standout, and I'm glad they're making a sequel.
Yep.
And so yeah, I really enjoyed it. Couldn't really ask for more, I don't think, from that movie.
No, I mean, I think it like, you know, checked all the boxes that you would want it to check in that movie here. And no, I think it's like the movie Big, just only the kid becomes a superhero as opposed to just, you know, a regular.
Essentially that.
Yeah. So I mean, no, I think it's I think like this is like the first DCEU movie that really kind of nailed its tone and really knew what it wanted to be. And this is like probably the first one I would actually compare to like a Marvel movie in quality.
Yes, very much so. I think this is kind of the movie they have to look at going forward.
Oh yeah, no, I think
as far as comedic tone and stuff like that. And maybe there are going to be more serious movies, but Aquaman can learn a lot, because that was kind of a big problem I had initially with Aquaman, was that I didn't really get the tone. Like, it was either kind of supposed to be silly and then also supposed to be really serious.
Yeah, also very Shakespearean as well.
Yeah, in this movie it's fun.
Yeah, it's just fun. Yeah,
there's serious elements of it, like when he has to save his family, but
sure.
I feel overall this is a really solid movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So let's talk
Endgame, because I mean, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this. We're not doing a deep dive on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what'd you think?
So I kind of have a little bit of a weird relationship with Endgame. So I like the beginning.
It's
like
so hard to rewatch.
It is hard to rewatch. It's a very long movie. That being said, I liked the first third of it. I thought, like, you know, them having to essentially deal with the fact that the world ended and they lost here, you know, and then, like, you know, 5 years go by and everybody's having to kind of deal with it. I thought that was good. The middle portion, like the second third of this movie, is kind of what I feel like, you know, kind of brings the movie down in quality, like the whole time travel stuff where they're kind of going back and like
I liked that. I did enjoy that though.
I mean, I think it's fine, but
that's like the heist part of the movie that I really didn't enjoy.
It is the heist part of the movie, but I do feel like it does kind of detract from the tone a little bit, and it also I also feel like they spent a little too much time on that. But I mean, I get it. You have to kind of do it to, you know, get to the last third of the movie, which is an absolute banger of a time here.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, like,
and fan service done well. You have heard us talk about The Last Jedi, or sorry, not The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, and The Last Jedi. You've heard both, but and how fan service can dictate a script, and when a script puts fan service in a really natural way, and this movie did it perfectly, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, they paid it off. They paid it off well. I mean, like,
Cap picking up
Thor's
Mjolnir.
Yeah,
I yelled.
Oh yeah,
it was so good.
I lost my mind.
And I saw this movie at Disney.
Ooh,
because my wife and I, Taryn, were on our honeymoon at Disney World when this premiered, and we went to the premiere basically at Disneyland or Disney World. Sorry. They have a theater. Yeah. And it was awesome.
Yeah. No, I mean, like,
the crowd was insane.
Oh,
I've never been in a crowd like that.
I'm sure, but like even like just little moments like where, you know, you see Thor like both dual wielding both Mjolnir and Stormbreaker.
Yeah, my favorite part is probably Bro Thor.
Yeah.
Of that movie.
That is the most shocking part of that.
It was awesome though.
And it was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I really liked how, because going into this movie, I really thought essentially Cap and Iron Man's fate were reversed here. I thought Cap was going to be the one that was going to die taking down Thanos. And then I thought Iron Man was going to be the one who kind of got like the marriage ceremony, you know, like he gets married, retires, get married to Pepper Potts at the end and has a kid, which I mean, technically he did. That just happens in the first act of the movie here.
I mean, it happens off screen for the most part.
Right. It happens off screen, but yeah. So, I mean, definitely, so there were definitely some surprises there. I didn't expect Black Widow to die. So, I mean, I really think,
I don't know why she's getting a movie. My wife's into it. I'll go see it.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
Yeah. But that's a topic for another time. But no, absolutely. Like I said, I really like this movie overall. I just feel like it's got a little bit of padding in the middle of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was a long movie, but I felt like it wasn't filler. Like it served a purpose, and so I was really happy with the fight sequences, the story, where they're at. I like, and we'll talk about this later, but I think the best part of Endgame is what it did to the rest of the MCU for future movies, like how Far From Home handles the blip with like the kids that are like 5 years older and stuff. And I thought that was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny, yeah.
But yeah, it handles a lot of different things I think really, really well. Loved it. Yeah.
All right. So next up is Detective Pikachu. So
yes.
You're a lifelong Pokemon fan.
I am.
What'd you think?
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I loved it. The only thing I really wanted, like, when I heard about this movie, I was like, I don't know if that's going to be good. Like, I don't know. I want a more traditional Pokemon movie, which I still do.
Which
I still want more
Ash
battling.
Ketchum. And
yeah.
It
doesn't even have to be Ash Ketchum. It could be a new person in a new region. I don't
care.
Sure,
yeah.
But yeah, I thought the movie was solid. I thought Ryan Reynolds did a great job as Pikachu. And
no, he really did.
I thought the story was pretty good, and the placement of Pokemon was ultra nostalgic, and they did it. I think they handled it probably one of the best ways they could. I really enjoyed it. Had a fun time with it.
Yeah, I mean, I watched this. I didn't watch this in theaters. I watched it on rental. I Redboxed it, and I mean, I liked it. I didn't love it. I'm not really a Pokemon fan, but I know who most of these people are, just due to, like, you know, just kind of growing up around Pokemon and also Smash Bros. You hear and you learn things. So, I mean, I knew enough to kind of know, like, you know, kind of the basics, but as kind of a non-fan, I mean, I feel like this movie might not be, like, you know, the video game movie we want to, like, you know, kind of bridge gaps here, you know?
Yeah, I felt like for a video game movie it was amazing if you're thinking in those terms, because there's not very many video game movies that are done well.
Right. No, I mean, but, like, in terms of, like, you know, expanding to, like, you know, a general mainstream audience, I feel like this movie wasn't quite that. Like, you know, it wasn't like kind of like how it wasn't like the superhero movie that brings in, like, you know, a new wave of fans and introducing people and stuff.
I think this movie does a really good job of giving current fans what they've wanted. And so for a non-fan, I can see why it would be difficult to enjoy, but still a fun movie.
No, fun movie. So,
all right, John Wick Chapter 3.
So I thought this movie was good. I mean, essentially John Wick becomes full up superhuman in this movie.
Pretty much.
The one thing that I wasn't a fan of was how it ended, because the reason being is, like, you know, obviously, spoiler alert.
This is the prequel to The Matrix, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, Morpheus is there, so we just need Trinity. But no, I think when he gets you know, shot and you know, falls off the 3-story building, and
it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I'm, like, not to get into too personal details.
I was kind of scoffing at that too in the theater, so it's not a big deal.
I mean, as someone who works in the medical field and, you know, kind of deals with a little bit of trauma and stuff like that, it's probable, or, well, possible, not at all probable, that he would have survived that fall. And then just the fact that they had Winston betray him, like, kind of felt like, okay, you kind of built Winston as, like, probably John Wick's most reliable ally for the last
We're getting the Avengers of John
movie.
Wick, though, in the next one, where all the homeless people team up with John Wick.
Yeah.
And then those people in the desert.
Yeah. What? That'd be cool.
With Halle Berry.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all coming.
They're all coming.
You can mark my words now, here and now.
You heard it first.
Yeah, you heard it first on You Heard With Nerds.
Yep. So, what about you, man?
Yeah, I thought it was great. So great, in fact, I subjected my wife to it, who does not like gore or blood. She can't handle blood, and it was stinking awesome. The action is next level, I think, in terms of like the realistic side of action.
Sure, yeah.
Keanu does a great job.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait for chapter 4.
Yeah. No, should be good. Same day as The Matrix.
Yep. Gosh, that's gonna be a good day.
Keanu Day.
Keanu Day. We have to adopt that.
Yep.
Hashtag Keanu Day. Make it happen, people.
Make it happen. So next up on our list, Aladdin.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Thought it was great.
So I actually have not seen this one yet because I'm waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus.
Yep.
But
understandable.
Anything Will Smith gets to like flex his Fresh Prince of Bel-Air muscles.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job in it.
Yeah.
As a genie. I was really skeptical going into it because I was such a huge fan of the original animated movie. Yeah. And I loved it. I thought it was a remake 100%. Like same storyline, same musical numbers, but I thought they did it in a fresh way. That's going to bring in new audiences, and maybe people have never seen the Aladdin movie before.
Yeah.
I thought Will Smith did a great job of his version of the genie. It was definitely he was not trying to be Robin Williams at all.
Which is probably for the best.
Yeah. 100%. You can't pretend to be Robin Williams. It doesn't work.
No.
So yeah, I would say this is a movie that I want to buy and just have in my collection. So
yeah, no, absolutely. So Lion King.
Didn't care for it.
Now,
shot for shot remake, but not as cool as the animation,
right,
or animated version.
Which, yeah, again, this is one that I'm waiting on Disney Plus.
You can't surf on giraffes' necks. You just have to run around in between their legs.
Oh, is that what happened?
Well, I mean, there's a certain things you can't do in a live action remake, and I say that in quotations,
right? Because this is
live action. They're not real lions.
Because technically, this is an animated.
It
movie.
It is. The live action animated movie.
It's a National Geographic film here.
Yeah. I'll have to watch it again though. My wife we're opposite on this. My wife, she liked Aladdin, but she didn't love it. And then when I say didn't care for The Lion King, it was fine.
Yeah.
But I didn't really like it. My wife loved it. She thought it was great.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. So
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Far From Home. So
yeah, in the midst of all the Marvel Sony drama, with this movie, like, in my opinion, we got a good movie.
No, we honestly did. I think I actually might like this movie better than Homecoming here, in all honesty. Yeah, just because, I mean, like Homecoming for me, I don't feel like really gets good until you find out Michael Keaton is
Batman.
Yeah, Batman or Birdman in this case here.
Well, like a lot of people, or some people listening, might not even know he's Batman.
Yeah, possibly, but anyhow, no. When you find out that Michael Keaton is
the Vulture.
His
his
love interest's dad.
Yes.
Yeah, like just that scene, like, and just like. It's just
the pure terror on his face.
Well, the terror, and it's just funny, but also like intense, and it's attention grabbing. And so, like, in my opinion, like that's when the movie like really gets good. Whereas Far From Home, I don't feel like needed that. I feel like it was just kind of good all the way throughout, regardless. Yeah. Like it didn't have like that one scene that really made the movie for me here, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like both movies pretty equally, but yeah, really dug it. Liked they were in a completely different setting, He was away from New York.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Because we've had so many movies there with like Avengers and, parts of like, Captain America.
Literally like almost every superhero movie.
Yeah, that's New York or a version of New York. Yep. Because Gotham is technically a version of New York.
Technically, but not really.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about it I have for Spider-Man though.
Yeah, okay. Joker.
Yeah. Oof. I say that with that was a heavy movie.
That was a heavy movie.
That sigh was because that movie was stinking heavy. We both saw it together. What do you think?
So I will say that this is a well-made movie for what they were going for. Like, I think what they intended to do, they absolutely nailed it. Joaquin Phoenix is, he's great in it here. Now, that being said, this is not completely what I was wanting here, because I mean, I'm a Batman guy. I like, and I like seeing like, kind of more glimpses of like traditional Joker where he's kind of calculated and has a little bit more of like a dark sense of humor, which you don't really, you see a little bit of that.
Things happen by accident in that movie. They're not calculated like the genius level that the Joker is.
No, I mean,
or at least how he's depicted in the comics.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you get like maybe like a quick glimpse like here and there in that movie, but you don't get to see it like, you don't really get to see this, like really fully fleshed out like you would in like the comics, or like, in like, for example, The Dark Knight here, where he's calculated and he's also got a dark sense of humor and he's just full on. But I mean, it's a good movie that like really just like honestly just portrays just a man who's struggling with like his inner demons and his mental health here, and he's trying to make it in society, and society just isn't having it with him here, so he decides to live by his own rules here.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Yeah. Next up.
So Star Wars. So we literally just got done talking about this movie.
We did 2 podcasts talking about this quite a bit.
Yeah. So, I mean.
So super brief, I would say.
Yeah. Just underwhelmed, and not bad, just underwhelmed.
And I would say really solid movie. Mixed feelings a little bit on maybe just the ending of Star Wars in general when it comes to the Skywalker saga, but I really enjoyed it.
So, Dragon Ball Super Broly. So this is your pick right here.
Yeah, I threw this on the list because I'm pretty sure that like it came out in Japan earlier, but it came out in America early this year in 2019.
Yeah.
Man, besides Toy Story 4, which we'll talk about next, I thought this was the best animated movie of the year.
Really?
Like, I've seen all the Dragon Ball kind of offshoot movies that they've done, and I've watched the entire series from Dragon Ball through Dragon Ball Super. Huge fan. I'm actually wearing underneath my hoodie right now my Goku shirt.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, and so no, I thought the animation was awesome. I thought the fighting was awesome, and it was just really fun. It was just good storytelling. I hope they do a sequel.
Now,
or at least adapt it into the anime is not going right now, but I hope they adapt it in the future iterations
into like a new series or something like that.
Yeah, like a new arc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as somebody who's not really a Dragon Ball fan, like, is there like enough in here or like scenes that I would like go in and maybe appreciate or something like that? Or is that...
I would say maybe some of the action scenes, but you like the story itself. Like I think that like I should have prefaced that this is for Dragon Ball fans.
Okay.
You pretty much have to be a Dragon Ball fan to appreciate this movie.
Okay, fair enough.
So
yeah. All right, cool.
Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4. So I think overall this is a solid movie, although I feel it's unnecessary because Toy Story 3, like, I feel like really had the perfect ending.
Yeah, this is a cash grab for sure.
Oh,
it was a solid movie.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
But it was a cash grab.
Everything in Hollywood is a cash grab here. I mean,
I think when it's delving into nostalgia, absolutely.
Yeah, but like, because I mean, everybody is trying to make money. Everybody is trying to eat, put food on the table, pay the bills and stuff like that. Everybody's chasing that paper. That being said, there are some instances where it's like blatantly obvious than others here.
Yeah.
And I feel like this one was definitely cash grabby. I do think Key and Peele's character,
yes,
best part of the movie, and they were.
What was their name? It was Ducky
and Bunny.
I think so.
Yeah, I like just like their scenes that they have where they're talking about like how they're gonna get like the key to the cabinet or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and then they're explaining how they do it, and then like the next scene you just see them like essentially tackling that old lady in the face. I mean, it's great.
It is.
And I mean, no, it's basically like it's kind of like those shorts on the Key and Peele show where they're the two valet men in front of the hotel, and they're just like playing off of each other,
what
just being
the Liam Neesons though.
Yeah, being like just big nerds about stuff here and all that. That's kind of, I feel like that's how how they were in this movie.
Which I greatly enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, and then
Duke Kaboom.
Yeah, so I mean, like a lot of people said he stole the show for this. I don't necessarily agree with that, but
I don't either.
But I think his backstory absolutely hilarious, just because
So good.
Because like we've all been there, we've all seen like the toys in the commercial,
and
that
so underwhelming.
yes,
I get it.
yes,
Those ones that so it was great. Like when a toy's supposed to do something and it does like a 1/10 of what it's supposed to do. And
yeah.
you just kind of throw the toy aside because you're like, wow, this was not what I thought it would be.
Yeah, they got you.
They got you.
Yep. So
yeah, that was great.
So next up on our list, a movie that I haven't seen that I've been meaning to see, Knives Out. You've seen this.
I have seen this.
And and Ryan Johnson directed movie. And
yes.
It's apparently pretty good.
I would say it's better than pretty good.
Really?
I would say it's stinking awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the kind of murder mystery genre, I guess, for this movie, and it was kind of like it kind of reminded me of like a murder mystery mixed with like an Ocean's in like a detective movie.
Okay.
Because you have those elements. You have Daniel Craig's character playing kind of the private investigator detective.
Sure.
You have the actor who played in the Death Note live adaptation. I don't remember his name.
Oh, I don't know either.
But he's also in the movie as a detective.
Okay.
And then you have an amazing cast.
Wait, the guy that plays Light?
Yeah. No, not Light. Wait, who's the detective in that?
L.
L. He played L.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so he's typecasting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so detective in both. But and then you have a great cast of the people who are all associated with the murder suspect. But yeah, I thought it was just an all-out awesome movie. This did not this would probably be in my top 3 movies of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
All right.
Yeah, and then the next up is Jumanji Next Level. I threw that on here because I just saw it.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought it was good, but not necessarily great. I thought it was a decent sequel to a movie that probably shouldn't have had a sequel.
So how does this compare to the original? Is it?
I like the original way more.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I give the original like 8.5 out of 10. Probably.
Oh, really?
This one I'd probably give like a 7.5.
Okay.
Maybe a 7.
So like a tier down or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I thought it was fun. I had a good time with my wife.
Okay. Fair enough. So that leads us to best movie of the year.
Yep.
So despite like my gripes about it, it has to be Endgame.
I agree.
Just for that like last hour or however long it is, of the movie, I think absolutely is the best thing I saw in the theater this year for certain.
Yep. I agree.
Yep.
So movie you wish you saw.
So I put Aladdin, like, I kind of mentioned earlier, I'm just kind of being a little frugal and waiting for it to come to Disney Plus, but also Knives Out, just because
so good.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. And so, yeah, I'm actually curious to see how it fares here and whatnot.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't really write anything in this section because I think I saw most movies I wanted to see.
Yeah.
So, but I did kind of write a follow-up question to that because I felt like
you needed to talk about this here.
Yeah. So a movie you wished you didn't see, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah. So
I hated it.
Really?
I thought it was not good at all.
So would you say you hated this more than The Hateful Eight?
No.
You hated Hateful Eight more?
Yeah, I can't stand Hateful Eight.
Okay.
So I would say, man, I just didn't like this movie. Like the plot wasn't really there. Like it was just, I just didn't like it.
Is Tarantino losing his touch a little bit?
I don't know because a lot of people like this movie. But I didn't really understand why. So I don't know if he's losing his touch. Like he definitely, in my opinion, has since Kill Bill.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I
would say Django's dope.
Yeah, Django I really liked. Inglourious Bastards as well.
Yeah.
I thought was good.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just not a Quentin Tarantino fan when it comes to like the hardcore fans.
Sure.
Like I like those movies, but I don't like anything really beyond that.
Okay, fair enough.
So, yeah, I just really don't like this movie. Wish I wouldn't have spent the money on it.
Fair enough. All right, so we are moving on to TV. So, got quite a few on here. So I'm going to start it off with One Punch Man, Season 2.
Was it good?
Yes.
I've seen Season 1, have not made time to see Season 2. Eventually I'll get to it.
Yeah, so that being said, The animation does suffer in this season because they went with a different animation company, which, I mean, if
everyone was worried about
yeah.
that.
Now, here's the thing. I am not really an anime guy all that much. I mean, I'll enjoy the occasional anime every now and again. And One Punch Man, I absolutely love just because it really like kind of makes fun of like, you know, anime stereotypes or like tropes and even like just generic superhero tropes as well here, you know. So it's honestly a good time for, you know, if you liked One Punch Man season 1, watch One Punch Man season 2. It's worth your time. It's not, again, the animation does suffer a little bit, and I wouldn't say it's as good as season 1, but it is worth your time.
Okay, cool. Yeah, next up, because I didn't watch it, so I don't have any idea to it, but I'll probably check it out eventually.
Sure,
when I got some time on my hands, but Cobra Kai. So this is a show Dorian and I both really enjoyed the first season of.
Yeah.
We thought it was great on a lot of different levels. Number one, we're Karate Kid fans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're both martial artists, and so, and so there's a lot of beats in this that you think we would love, and we did love it in the first season. Not to say the second season was horrible, but it wasn't quite up to snuff with the first season, in our opinion.
It didn't exactly nail it here. Yeah. So I mean,
there is more of the high school drama, like you were saying, like you said in the show notes. But I enjoyed it. I did enjoy this season. I was surprised with how they ended it.
Yes, I am too.
Him like
getting paralyzed
and having to fight through that. The third season, and I don't even know when it comes out. I'm going to have to research this a little after. It's probably sometime in 2020. I'm going to guess spring.
I'm thinking so if they're keeping with the schedule.
And I think it's going to be good. I'm really hoping it's going to be good. Yeah. We need more Johnny being Johnny, though, because he's the funniest part of the whole stinking show.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, and here's the thing. I mean, we got plenty of Johnny in this season, but
it wasn't classic Johnny.
It wasn't classic Johnny, like, you know, how we like him, where he's like, you know, just kind of being kind of rude, kind of brash, and, you know, politically incorrect from time to time. This is the
one character I don't care if he grows at all. Like, I want him to kind of stay...
Yeah,
a little how he is.
Yeah.
Maybe warm up a little to the kids, but
yeah,
and you do see that towards the end of the season, like
sure, yeah.
So we've kind of theorized, this is like a little mini deep dive, real quick, but we've kind of theorized that. What's the name of the other dojo?
Oh, Miyagi-Do.
Oh yeah, Miyagi-Do and his Cobra Kai. At least he's gonna go join Miyagi-Do. That's at least our theory.
Something along those lines.
Along those lines. But we're excited for season 3, I think.
Yeah. So here's the big one. Game of Thrones.
Whew.
Woo. So, yeah. You want to start off on this one?
Not really. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think I share the same opinion as a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Kind of an underwhelming season. A short, underwhelming season, and I did not like a lot of what they did. I didn't like that Daenerys got killed by Jon Snow.
Yeah.
I didn't like how she kind of went insane at the end there. I didn't like that Bran became the new king.
Yeah, that is, like, I would say probably one of the biggest things I had a problem with. Was,
so basically the whole ending I just didn't like.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing. Like,
the battles were cool.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, they never disappoint on, like, their battles here. But, no, so here's the thing. Game of Thrones is probably my favorite TV show of all time. I would probably put it pretty high up there, if not at the top.
Okay.
That being said, it's like there were definitely things about this season that I enjoyed. Like, I do really like the Battle for Winterfell. I thought, you know, that was the best episode of the season. And, you know, I mean, yeah, I was definitely surprised by a few things here. And I was okay with Daenerys going insane, because I feel like we've kind of been like slowly building up to that, like very like in the background. And I kind of even talked about it like a long time ago before this season came out. Like, Daenerys has always been doing things or pursuing the crown for selfish reasons. So how is she going to be a good ruler if she's just if her motivations are selfish here?
She turned to the dark side.
Oh, she did. Now, that being said, I mean, like, a lot of the story beats in this season, I'm actually okay with, but I feel like the execution was very rushed. I felt like, this, like the season should have been split into 2 halves and then expanded upon. Like the first 3 episodes where they're dealing with the White Walkers, that should have been its own season, like at least 6 episodes, if not 10.
Right.
And then like, the last confrontation with Cersei and Daenerys' army, that should have been its own season too. And they really should have fleshed that out instead of like really trying to like, wrap everything up like really quickly.
Right.
So
yeah, and I agree. I mean, I gave kind of my perspective on it a little bit. Like one of the only things I think is, when the White Walkers show up to kill Bran, basically, and Arya shows up. You said your jaw dropped, and I was kind of like, oh, that kind of seemed like it was going to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like I was just really invested in the show here.
Yeah,
so,
you're way more invested than I was for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, when stuff like that happens, and especially on a show where characters can get killed off very instantly, like the wave of emotions that came in when like Arya comes out and she's going to go stab him, I'm like, oh yeah, get some. and then he grabs her by the neck and then like,
like,
has her pinned. I'm like, oh no, this ain't going to go good. And then she drops the dagger and then catches it and then stabs him. Yep. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I lost it. Like I'm pretty sure my neighbors heard me.
All right, well, moving on to the next show, Stranger Things Season 3.
Mm-hmm. So
what's up?
I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
What?
I'm not a fan of this season.
You're not? I know.
No, I mean,
my wife said that and said, shame on you.
Nah, well. So I mean, here's the thing. It's
no
like,
food for you. No, I'm kidding.
Which is a shame because his wife is a really good cook.
Yeah.
So that being said, the main thing that really ruined this season for me was I felt like Hopper's character development, or how they portrayed him this season, because they kind of portrayed him more for laughs, and also just like the whole like romance side story with like Joyce, I felt like was,
that was a little forced. I think
it was just straight up annoying, like how much bickering they did.
I don't like Joyce to begin with.
Sure, but I mean, it's like, the fact that they never really argued like a couple or anything like that in like the previous episodes. And so like when they're just like straight up just like bickering, like they already are a couple, like, and they already hate each other or something like that, I just felt kind of annoying and whatnot. And so there are things I do like about this season. I felt like, Steve and Dustin's, storyline and relationship was still great. I mean, there are things, but I think Hopper is the best character on the show, and the fact that they kind of reduced him to like, like almost like kind of a joke. I feel like that really cut against the season here for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was a good season.
Okay.
I did binge this. I watched as much as I could in a couple days, and so I thought it was good. I am not a fan of how they portrayed Hop either, but our trajectory as humans isn't always linear, and
sure.
I think he kind of did, his character regressed in some ways, but I think also he was kind of conflicted because he was being a dad for the first time.
Yeah,
or not the first time, but he's being a dad again.
Yeah, or at least like having. Well, he was in uncharted territory with like his daughter, essentially like getting into boys and being like
that was a whole new thing, and you could see kind of the awkwardness play through that. Mm-hmm. And then the thing I hated was Mike was a complete turd. I cannot stand that kid. I hope he dies in the next season.
Mike and 11 were
they were such turds.
Yeah,
both of them.
Yeah,
but the redeeming quality of the show. Mm-hmm. Steve Harrington.
Steve is always
still Steve Harrington, guys.
Steve is always a solid bet.
And Dustin is solid too, in my opinion.
Dustin is solid. Yeah.
They need their spinoff.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yeah,
Netflix.
Like a buddy cop show. Yeah.
Yeah, give me a whole summer. I don't care where there's no one else but them, and they're trying to figure something out.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Even Robin too. I didn't mind her at all.
Yeah.
But those two specifically.
Yeah.
Moving on, Rick and Morty.
So
didn't see it.
Yep. So
Dorian did.
Yep. I watched the whole season, all 5 episodes.
Wow. They're giving us a lot these days.
So I mean, I'm not I'm not really all that angry that they gave us like 5 episodes. I wish they gave us like 4 more good episodes if that was the case here, if they were only going to do 5. So I only really like the first episode.
How long are they?
They're like, I think 20 minutes or so.
Oh gosh. You only got 5?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, here's the thing is like, I wouldn't be too mad about that if like, if the quality of the episodes were like better, overall, or like every single one of them should be like at least like good, if not great. I felt like the first one was like actually good, and all the rest were either okay to mediocre.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably won't watch it then.
Okay.
Moving on.
Mandalorian.
Yes. That's all I have to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, if you listen to like our weekly show, you probably already know that we talk about Mandalorian pretty much almost every week, and we do deep kind of like a little review of the episode. And no, we're both big fans. Honestly, like
it's part of our roundtable review every week.
Yes, and I think it's honestly like the best thing to come out of the Disney merger here so far.
100%.
So, and I mean, kind of skipping forward ahead because we're already here. Best TV show of the year? Mandalorian. But
I also think a close second is The Masked Singer.
Agree to disagree.
But I wholeheartedly love The Mandalorian, and The Masked Singer gave me anxiety every week.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Just great.
I actually did enjoy watching it, though. It was fun to watch with my wife. But yeah, both are fun to watch with my wife. But yeah, Mandalorian, best show of the year for sure.
Yeah.
All right, video games.
All right.
So this is a game you played, I didn't.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2, remake of the OG on PlayStation.
How do they do?
Honestly, they kind of knocked it out of the park, I feel like. Now,
okay.
I didn't play the original, but I've seen video footage. It's a completely different game. It's it's like, the graphics are redone. They kind of like tweaked everything to like really like make it like a modern feeling game here,
Cool.
It's honestly like how remakes should be
How
done.
much is it? What's the price point for people wondering?
I bought it on Black Friday for I think like about $20 or so. So
worth the $20.
Yeah, definitely worth the $20. I don't know if there's a sale running right now, but if it's on sale, pick it up. I mean, it's not super long. Like, I think one of the campaigns takes like about 10 hours to complete, and then like the other campaign is like another 10 hours. So you're looking at like 20 hours altogether for playtime.
Solid.
Yeah, so
$1 an hour?
Yeah.
All right.
So Sekiro.
Yeah, this is a game that both Dorian and I were hyped for.
Yeah, so
I did not pick it up.
So I did, just because I'm a big Dark Souls, Bloodborne fan, and
I'm not as big a fan, but I do appreciate the genre a lot, and I have played the Dark Souls games. Well, I've played Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne and like them both.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing, when From Software was announcing that, hey, we're doing the same thing, but we're setting it in feudal Japan.
You were in.
Oh, so in, because I mean, feudal Japan is definitely one of my favorite settings, and like, places to like, actually like explore and like, just get immersed in. So that being said, they definitely changed quite a few things up from like the traditional formula. You don't have a stamina meter anymore. You're not really focused on like dodging attacks. You're more trying to like deflect and parry them, which requires like really like last second timing button presses in order to like actually like, get it to work. So I mean, so those things I wasn't too crazy about, but I eventually kind of start getting around to it, was able to like actually start getting good with it, and played through most of it. I didn't beat it just because I kind of lost interest, which I liked it, didn't love it. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So Mortal Kombat 11.
Yep.
So I didn't buy this one or play this one at all, but you bought it.
I did.
Yeah. So
it was fine.
It was fine.
If you like fighting games, I'd say pick it up.
Okay.
That's about all I have to say on it.
Now, real quick, in Mortal Kombat X, they took away tag team.
Yeah.
Is tag team back?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I never got a chance to really dive into tag team it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because I don't know anyone else who has it.
Fair enough.
So, it was good. I definitely was rubbed the wrong way by Mortal Kombat X. There was a lot of hype around our friend group of getting this game, and I think I spent like $90 on that game because
yeah,
I got, like,
you got the season passes,
Xbox controller with it too. It was fun. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I like fighting games. It was fun. But a game I did really like was Pokemon.
Yeah. So which one did you pick up? Okay.
Yeah, I got Shield.
All right.
Mostly because of the exclusive in that game. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head right now.
Okay.
But basically, I really enjoyed it. The story was great. It's probably the first game in a while that's really grabbed me and brought me into it and made me want to play it for a decent amount of time.
Okay.
But better graphics would have been nice. This is the first mainline Pokemon game on a console in ever.
Yeah.
And so they did update their graphics, but I think they could have done a better job with that. Yeah. And I hope they do, because in Pokemon history, like they'll do like at least recently, they'll do like Pokemon Sword and Shield, and then they'll do like in another year or two, they'll do Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Shield.
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
It's like a fuller story and stuff, or a continuation of that story too. So
yeah,
I thought it was good.
Yeah. Okay. So this one is one you've been waiting for probably for a while. And this was originally the reason why you were going to buy a PS4.
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes.
And
for some reason, I just couldn't get into it.
That's insane.
I know, and these games are my jam. Me and my brother and my cousin have spent hours playing 1 and 2. Call it what you will. I could not muster the strength to put this game in my PlayStation.
Just kind of grew out of it.
I don't know. I don't know if you can grow out of Disney. I don't think that's a real thing.
Well, I mean, it's technically not like traditional Disney here.
No, it's a Final Fantasy version of Disney, basically. But
yeah,
I don't know. I just couldn't do it. This might be a game I come back to, eventually.
Yeah,
but it's not a game that I even finished. So yeah. All right, up next, Apex Legends.
Yeah, so I played a little bit of it. I'm just not a huge Battle Royale guy here, to be completely honest with you. I mean, pretty much the main 2 games I play online are Overwatch and Smash Bros. For the most part.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, I think it's, fundamentally solid in terms of like its gameplay. I definitely like, how you can shoot things a lot better than you do in Fortnite, because I feel like Fortnite's shooting mechanics are like secondary because it's building. Mostly. Yeah, mostly. Whereas this was like one that focused on the shooting. I wasn't a huge fan that they kind of force you to be in a team of 3. I kind of do like being able to play solo if I have a chance. Yeah. But the main thing that the reason why I put this on the list is just because it's honestly they pretty much like announced it and dropped it within a week.
Yeah.
And I think that you might start seeing that as a little bit of a new trend, just because.
Well, I don't want to get teased 10 years ago like Kingdom Hearts 3 and then be over it 10 years later.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. But the thing is too, is like, I was kind of thinking about this, is like EA is a very notorious company in the video game or gamer circle here.
Yeah.
So it's like anytime, like, I feel like if they were going to, like, try to put something out there, hype something up or do something with it, people on the internet would just like, trash talk them for like, hours and hours on end. Whereas like with this, they kind of said, okay, we're going to try to avoid like a lot of that negative press, a lot of this negativity on the internet, just put it out there and then just put it in people's hands and let them see it for themselves here,
Yeah.
So, I mean, no, I think it's a very interesting way of like how they decided to launch it. It might become a standard potentially in the future. Who knows?
Yeah. I played it, thought it was fun, but I'm kind of over it. I might touch let's say if you hit me up or someone else
Sure.
like, hey, we're gonna play a couple rounds, I might hop on.
Yeah,
but I'm
no,
not
exactly.
gonna consistently play it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So, yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
All right, next up is a game that I want still.
Yeah.
I haven't had the chance to purchase it yet, but Link's Awakening.
Yeah. So this is definitely the definitive way to play that game, because in my opinion, the Game Boy game, like on the Game Boy cartridge and your black and white Game Boy or Game Boy Color, doesn't hold up great.
Okay.
Just because they streamline a lot of things. They add some quality of life improvements to it. the art style I think is definitely the best thing about this game here.
I would have to agree, even though I played it myself. I do agree the art is very beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I mean, I think, just if you are a fan of like, kind of like the traditional Zelda games, and what I mean by that is like kind of the Zelda games that they were releasing before the series went 3D. So like, your Link to the Past or original Zelda game on the NES. I feel like you should probably pick this up because it's in the same vein as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So now this one, I put this one last because I feel like we could talk quite a while about this one.
Yes, and spoiler alert, this is our game of the year.
Yep, game of the year.
This is Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yep. So where do we start with this? Because it's such a banger.
I don't know, because I love the RTS. I love the strategy games.
Mm-hmm.
And they did an amazing job. I honestly, after playing the game, I was like, there's literally nothing that I can think of that would have added to this.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
And a little side note, I almost did not pick up this game.
What made you pick it up?
So I was watching the E3 demo, and when they talked about like how this takes inspiration from Persona and like all the stuff you do outside of the battlefield and like outside of battle, I'm like, okay, I'm in at that point because
you're a huge Persona fan.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I'm
Persona 5, right?
Yeah, Persona 5 I was a really huge fan of. That's the only game I played, but the reason being like I wasn't super excited or a little wary about jumping on Three Houses was because the last Fire Emblem game, I think it was Fates. Mm-hmm. It was the one, there was like 3 versions of it.
Two versions, right?
3.
There was 3?
There was 3, yeah.
Dang.
There was the one where you play, I think it was I'm forgetting.
There was like a purple one, a red one.
There's the purple one and a red one, and then
did they come out with another one later?
They came out with another one later that was essentially kind of like almost bridging the gap between the two. Where
you could buy both.
You could buy
like a deal. I remember.
Yeah,
I did get both.
Yeah. So that being said, it was like I did for whatever reason I just did not click with that game.
Neither did I, honestly. So
it was just kind of meh. But I mean, I did like the one that came before it, Awakening. So that's how I kind of got into the series. So when this game was coming out, I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe I just only liked the first game, but no, this game is honestly a banger. Just like, I feel like just super fleshed out. Could play it for God knows how long here. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it was so good. Such a good game.
Yeah.
That's about all we have to say about that. But games you wish you would have played. I have a longer list.
Yep.
So yeah, for me, definitely, even though, I've talked to you about this game, but Sekiro.
Yep.
I like the same concepts. I like the feudal Japan. I like the challenging components that the other games that the creators have made, that studio. And so I want to try it out. Astral Chain was another one.
Yeah.
That looked really fun.
Yeah, I'm not too big on like the platinum games here or like the over the top crazy action games, but
right.
I mean Astral Chain, I have heard nothing but good things about it, and if it's on sale or if I have time, I wouldn't mind checking it out.
Yeah, and then the other ones I had on there were Resident Evil 2 Remake, which you loved, Link's Awakening, which you loved, and then Jedi Fallen Order. And as of recording of this podcast, I picked it up today. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to playing that over like Christmas time, and but yeah, so those are the games I wish I would have played. Are there any games you wish you would have played?
Yeah, no, I mean, Jedi Fallen Order is definitely one of them, just because.
You could borrow it.
Yeah, I might have to. Who knows? We might do a deep dive on it. We'll see.
It very well could turn into that.
Yeah, but that being said, I've heard it described as Star Wars with Dark Souls elements, and also elements of Uncharted, and also elements of like Metroid Prime, and I literally love everything I heard in that sentence here. So
yes, all of it.
So yeah, so and I mean,
it's Star Wars.
It's Star Wars. So I mean, yeah, no, I definitely want to play it. I just haven't had the time or really the funds to do it here. Another one that actually is on its way is Death Stranding.
Okay, yeah.
Now
for you, yeah, you just bought it, right?
Right, I just bought it on sale. It was like $35. I don't know if the sale's going on anymore, but if it was on it, or if it is on Amazon. Check it out if you are interested. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously there's bit of controversy about this game. Definitely mixed opinions and whatnot. I like Hideo Kojima's Metal Gear games. I think honestly he's kind of like, I'm probably selling him short on this, or it's probably not a great analogy, but I'm going with it. He's kind of like the Quentin Tarantino of video games, where he'll have these really serious and intense moments, but then he'll have some very kind of weird dark comedy underlying with that if that makes sense. So, but yeah, so I mean, I'm looking forward to checking it out, seeing what it is. I mean, I honestly just want to get my own opinion on it here.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of mixed reviews on it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some people or some sites from their readers, their reader polls give it Game of the Year. So, I just kind of want to see what's up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for listening to this. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you check us out on our Twitter at You Heard Nerds, our YouTube, which is You Heard with Nerds, and the same with our Facebook page. You can support us directly on Patreon at patreon.com/withnerds. And so make sure you check us on there. We greatly appreciate all the people who are supporting us, not only with their money, but just listening to us. And we just want to bring you guys even more content. And the only way we can do that is through your support. So make sure you go and support us there. And don't forget to check out our weekly episodes where we talk about all kinds of different stuff, our nerd news, our roundtable review, and just what's going on in nerd culture. We want you guys to have an awesome week. And remember, everyone's a nerd about something.
Everybody.